Hi friends! Today I want to play around with a concept that is surrounding the idea of resonance. I learned recently from Sandy Hirsch about a tool that she uses that she calls acoustic assumptions, which has to do with the assumptions we make about the voice we hear based on the acoustic properties. So resonance is one of those things that's really hard to track sometimes. It's hard to nail down and hard to measure. So I want to give you an exercise that will help you become more aware of what resonances you are using, whether it's really dark or really bright, and how to move it around without changing pitch. We know that pitch isn't everything, and sometimes there are other things besides pitch that can influence the listener even more. And I think this is one of those properties. So the exercise that I have in mind is we're just going to go through the alphabet. We're just going to go A to Z and make different kinds of sounds on each letter, isolating each one with a prescribed note. So let me demonstrate for you what I'm thinking, and I think you'll hear the difference, and we'll talk about how to make the different sounds between dark or really back resonance and bright or really forward resonance. So if I just start with the letter A, and I'm going to do this on G below middle C, let me just show you kind of what I'm thinking. Really far back. Kind of in the middle. Really forward. So you can see in this dark sound, my jaw is really open and my lips are a little bit rounded and kind of relaxed. My tongue is also positioned a little bit further back, kind of flat, like this shape, instead of up like a slip and slide. So that's the dark one. The middle one. Still pretty flat tongue. There's a little bit more teeth. I can feel it kind of coming a little bit further forward. And then the bright one. My tongue is kind of in this shape, this sort of like slip and slide shape. It's high in the back, low in the front. And there's a lot of teeth. It's very lateral. Versus same pitch, but very different sound. So what we're going to do is go through the entire alphabet from A to Z with these three positions, very far back, somewhere in the middle, and very forward. And I want you to just play around with what changes in your mouth to make these different sounds. And if you can make those changes without changing pitch, that's the hard part. So here we go. Feel free to talk, sing along, and hopefully this will be a useful exercise, and then we'll chat at the end. W, X, Y, Z. So you can kind of see the different mouth shapes and feel the movement from back to front, which changes the color of the sound significantly. So I want to encourage you to try this on all the different sounds that you make, starting with your alphabet, and then maybe you start with some combinations of sounds, like CH sounds or SH sounds or TS sounds or SK sounds or KS sounds, and you can do the same thing. So like if we take CH, and they're really different, and the different mouth shapes will produce different kinds of sounds. So I want to try this with one of my favorite sentences. The sky that morning was clear and bright and blue. It's got a lot of sounds in it, and it's really fun to say. So if we do the same thing, then we're going to let our pitch wander so we can have some inflection. We're going to start really far back. The sky that morning was clear and bright and blue. The sky that morning was clear and bright and blue. The sky that morning was clear and bright and blue. So the pitch doesn't change, but the color of the sound changes quite a bit. And you can hear that as it goes from back to front. There's almost a difference in gender perception in the voice. It's almost like a different, sort of makes its way across the spectrum. So hopefully this is an interesting tool for you to play with and start to notice where you make different sounds. And if you feel like a particular sound pulls you in a direction you don't want to be in, you can try this. This sort of like 1, 2, 3, or maybe it's 1, 2, 3, and seeing what feels good, what feels like you, and what feels natural. And it will be different, and it will feel weird to kind of maneuver your mouth in this new way. But hopefully this will be another step toward getting you to a voice that feels really great. So happy practicing. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me anytime. I look forward to hearing you.